On January 31st, 2026, the world of naval strategy was shaken to its core by a revelation that few could have predicted. What began as a routine day in global shipping would soon become a turning point in maritime history. Satellite images, captured by international intelligence agencies, revealed the Guangzhou Triumph, a massive Chinese container ship anchored in open waters. But this was no ordinary vessel. Its deck hatches were open, not to load or unload cargo, but to reveal rows of vertical missile launch systems, hidden in plain sight among the containers. Just days before, this very ship had been seen hauling everyday goods, blending seamlessly into the global flow of commerce. Now, it had transformed into a covert warship, its true purpose masked by the trappings of civilian trade. The revelation sent shockwaves through military and intelligence circles worldwide. Governments scrambled to assess the threat, while news outlets broadcast urgent updates, and analysts debated the implications on live television. For years, experts had warned of China's strategy to blur the line between civilian and military fleets. The concept of dual-use vessels was no longer theoretical. Now, there was undeniable proof, visible to the entire world. The Guangzhou Triumph is not just a merchant vessel, it's a floating missile platform capable of projecting military power far from China's shores. Its presence at sea signals a new era in naval warfare, where the line between commerce and conflict is dangerously thin. The implications are staggering. If one ship can be so easily converted, how many other Chinese vessels might be hiding similar capabilities? The world's shipping lanes may now be patrolled by an invisible navy, hidden among the countless merchant ships. Beijing's official response has been silence and denial, refusing to acknowledge the mounting evidence. Yet the images and intelligence reports speak for themselves, leaving little room for doubt. Naval experts and strategists are now forced to rethink the balance of power at sea. The traditional rules of engagement no longer apply when any merchant ship could be a potential missile carrier. China has demonstrated that it can turn its vast merchant fleet into a reserve navy almost overnight, seamlessly blending military assets into the fabric of global commerce. This new reality challenges the very foundation of maritime security. Every Chinese container ship is now viewed with suspicion, a potential threat lurking in the world's busiest sea lanes, its true nature concealed beneath layers of steel and cargo. The age of the container ship missile cruiser has arrived, forever changing the seas and forcing the world to confront a new and unpredictable maritime future. What is an armed merchant cruiser? It's a civilian ship, usually a cargo vessel, converted for military use by adding weapons. Historically, these ships supplemented navies in wartime, providing numbers and flexibility. Today, technology has revolutionized the concept. Weapons, radar, and command centers can be hidden inside standard shipping containers. A cargo ship can be armed in hours simply by loading special containers. The Guangzhou Triumph is the ultimate example. China has updated an old idea for the 21st century. This creates massive strategic ambiguity. Is that ship carrying toys or missiles? The inability to distinguish between civilian and armed ships raises the risk of catastrophic miscalculation. The line between commerce and conflict has never been thinner. Intelligence shows the Guangzhou Triumph's armament is both simple and deadly. Containerized vertical launch systems, modular missile boxes, are fitted to the ship's deck. Analysts estimate at least 8 modules, each holding 4 to 8 missiles, up to 64 missiles, rivaling a modern destroyer. Likely payloads include media, anti-ship cruise missile being launched at sea, land attack cruise missile in flight, labeled missiles on deck of naval ship, anti-ship cruise missiles, land attack cruise missiles, plus surface-to-air missiles for defense. Specialized containers house radar and command centers, networked with China's military satellites. For close defense, rapid-firing gun systems are mounted in containerized form. The result? A self-contained warship kit ready to be loaded onto any container ship. The ship blends into commercial traffic until the moment of attack. It's a warship in disguise, hiding in plain sight. The idea of arming merchant ships isn't a recent innovation. It stretches back over a century, to the chaos and uncertainty of the world wars. During these global conflicts, the line between civilian and military vessels blurred as nations scrambled to protect their vital supply lines. Britain, facing the threat of German surface raiders and submarines, took drastic measures. Passenger liners were hastily converted into armed cruisers, bristling with naval guns, tasked with both hunting enemy ships and safeguarding merchant convoys across dangerous waters. These improvised warships were often outgunned and vulnerable, but they filled a critical gap at a time when true warships were stretched thin. Their presence deterred attacks and bought precious time for the Allies. In World War II, the scale increased dramatically. Thousands of cargo ships were equipped with defensive weapons, anti-aircraft guns, depth charges, and more, giving merchant mariners a fighting chance against submarines and aircraft. Today, China's approach is a modern twist on this old idea. Instead of obvious conversions, it relies on stealth and ambiguity, hiding military capabilities within seemingly ordinary commercial vessels. The Guangzhou Triumph, for example, operates as a civilian container ship, crewed by civilians, blending seamlessly into global trade routes, until the moment it might be called upon for military action. Unlike the armed freighters of the past, its conversion is invisible to the naked eye. Hidden compartments and modular systems make it far more unpredictable, and potentially much more dangerous. This shift from open, visible conversion to covert militarization is a true game-changer in naval strategy, making it harder to distinguish friend from foe. Now, any container ship on the world's oceans could secretly be a warship in disguise, blurring the boundaries between commerce and conflict. The threat is now hidden in plain sight, and the risk of a sudden surprise attack is higher than ever before, keeping navies and intelligence agencies on constant alert. The lessons of history haven't been forgotten. They've been reimagined and adapted for a new era of maritime competition and uncertainty. Armed merchant cruisers and commerce raiders had opposite missions. The British used armed cruisers to defend trade. German raiders attacked enemy shipping using stealth and deception. The Guangzhou Triumph blurs these lines but leans toward the commerce raider a hidden predator, not a convoy escort. Its containerized weapons allow it to blend in, approach targets unnoticed, and launch devastating surprise attacks. This is not about defense, it's about ambush and first strike. Such ships could launch attacks before the enemy even knows war has begun. Their invisibility makes them ideal for surprise, high-impact missions. The element of surprise is their greatest weapon. Modern commerce raiding has returned, more dangerous than ever. China is the world's shipbuilding superpower, producing nearly half of all new commercial vessels. Its merchant marine is the largest on the planet, forming the backbone of its naval auxiliary strategy. Through military-civil fusion, China builds civilian ships to military specs, ready for rapid conversion. The Guangzhou Triumph is proof that this policy is now reality. By arming merchant ships, China can quickly multiply its missile platforms, projecting power far from home. This distributed fleet is hard to target and gives China an asymmetric advantage. The US focuses on a few advanced warships. China can field hundreds of auxiliary missile ships. Every Chinese merchant ship becomes a potential threat, overwhelming adversaries with numbers. It's a clever use of industrial and commercial strength to challenge naval supremacy. The world's shipping lanes are now a chessboard of hidden power. China isn't alone in developing containerized weapons. Western militaries have experimented with similar systems, missiles and shipping containers, ready to deploy on ships or land. The US Navy has tested containerized Tomahawk and SM-6 launchers. Israel and Europe have their own versions. Denmark's Stanflex system swaps containerized modules for different missions. The technology is well understood in the West. The difference is scale. For the US and allies, these are niche capabilities. China, by contrast, is integrating them into a national strategy, leveraging its massive fleet. The West has prototypes. China has a fleet-level reality. Why pursue armed container ships? Economics. A modern destroyer costs over $2 billion and takes years to build. A new container ship costs a fraction, about $100 million, and can be built in 18 months. Add containerized weapons, and for 1/10 the price of a destroyer, China gets similar missile firepower. Thousands of ships are already in service. Weapon modules can be stockpiled and installed in days. This gives China incredible surge capacity in a crisis. The trade-off: these ships are glass cannons, powerful but vulnerable. They lack armor and advanced sensors but are expendable. Losing a converted freighter is far less costly than losing a warship and its crew. For China, the numbers game is worth the risk. The most destabilizing aspect of China's maritime strategy is the element of surprise, a factor that can upend decades of naval doctrine in an instant. Traditional naval fleets are tracked, monitored, and ultimately predictable. But disguised warships, hidden in plain sight among civilian vessels, shatter that sense of stability and control. In a crisis, Chinese container ships could seamlessly blend into the vast flow of global commercial traffic, only to suddenly reveal their true nature by launching surprise missile volleys at key military or strategic targets. Such an attack could cripple an adversary's ability to respond effectively in the crucial opening hours of a conflict, sowing chaos and confusion. This creates a dangerous dilemma for opposing navies. Should they treat every Chinese merchant ship as a potential threat, risking escalation, or hesitate and risk being caught off guard by a hidden enemy? Stopping and searching civilian ships, even on suspicion, could itself be seen as an act of war, potentially triggering the very conflict everyone hopes to avoid. The risk of miscalculation is immense. One wrong move, one mistaken identity, could ignite a conflict with global consequences. These disguised ships are expendable assets in a high-stakes gamble, designed to overwhelm defenses and create uncertainty at sea. China is betting that the combination of surprise, deception, and sheer numbers can offset the inherent vulnerability of these converted vessels. The front line is now everywhere. Any cargo ship could be a potential launch platform, and the first shot could come from anywhere along the world's shipping lanes. The world's navies must urgently adapt to this new era of hidden threats, where the distinction between civilian and military is deliberately blurred. The seas will never be the same, as the shadow of uncertainty now stretches across every horizon.